This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station.
It's Race Game. Good morning. This is Frida Liu. Now, there are many opportunities to promote good character in the workplace, in the homes of employees, and in the community. Managers should constantly strive to think of creative means of stressing the importance of good character in the workplace. And I'm here with Douglas Alex Chee, the Master Trainer and CEO of MILESTONE Training. And our discussion today is on character building in the workplace. He also played a pivotal role in writing, developing, and training the character building module of the Malaysian National Service Program. So perhaps before we get into the whole character building in the workplace, that was a long time ago, yeah?
Yes, almost 10 years ago, I think.
But maybe we can start from there.
Yeah, well, the original intent of the character building component in the National Service Project was to build self-reliance, create honesty, responsibility, and courage, taking initiative, and growing the young people, having them take charge of stuff and being self-reliant. So that's the work that we did, an original character building component in the National Service. And along the way, it progressed and developed into other things, I'm sure. I haven't been in touch with it for some time.
Right, okay. And the idea behind that is just that these are the individuals that will come out. And that's and you support this with activities?
Through in-room lectures, activities, games, and little lectures and videos. So that they can learn through a fun way.
Right.
Experiential learning.
Okay, so, and I guess even that kind of experiential learning applies to youths and to adults.
Yes,
especially
absolutely.
in the workplace as well. Now, how do you build character in the marketplace, in the workplace? Now, I always think that you either have good character or you don't have good character. Can you really be taught?
Yes, I think we can be taught. We have to question also the home environment. Does good character come from the parents? Does it come from the moral education that we receive in school? I think both play an important role. If we had great teachers in school, I'm sure we'll show up great in life.
Yeah.
Someone who cared about us and who went the extra mile with us. And even in the home environment, I grew up with a set of principles, and I've used it everywhere. I think my mom was one of my early coaches.
It's always the mother.
Yes, I think so.
Right.
I had two principles when I started working. She told me two things, and she just kept reminding me every single time. And I think that's what proved for me is the early success that I achieved when I was very young. Was because I just followed these two very simple principles.
Which was?
Well, she told me to do more than what I was paid for.
Okay.
So whatever I was paid for, make sure that you do a lot more than your minimum requirement. Always go the extra mile.
Okay.
Always.
Mommy taught
That's
you that.
one. And the other thing is learn your job, do it very well, and then learn other people's jobs. So I implement that. That's how I think I grew very quickly in my organizations back in when I started work.
A wise woman. Okay, so and what defines what is good character? And isn't it subjective?
I would say it is subjective, but I think we all can agree what characteristics would embody someone who is someone who is what we can call has a good character. I think it's more looking at the traits that they possess and how they show up in the work environment. For me, I think people also need role models, mentors and coaches. And even in the office environment, people spend 60% of their lives in the workplace. And they need to be having role models, people who are willing to impart their knowledge and skills and to be the example of what it means to be having someone of good character or good standing in the organization, a role model.
Right.
I think that's what's lacking maybe now.
Okay.
And part of it comes with the attitude. When they come into the workspace, what kind of attitude they have. And I think it can be built. I'm a believer that human beings are not fixed. They can develop.
Yeah. Nurtured.
Yes, nurtured.
Yeah.
Nurturing environment. So even in the workspace, when someone who has achieved a certain set of results can start to teach and to groom other people to replace themselves, I think this sets a good context for growth in an organization. Having someone move up from if they're a manager and they now need to find and create other managers and for them to groom other people before they can move up. I think it's a great way to impart skills and and to model, you
Right.
know.
Okay, now what kind of training can foster good character? Can it be done through training?
I think so. I've been involved in training now for 16 years, and I think people do not know their full potential yet, and they haven't explored themselves fully. Everyone comes through life with their own set of experiences of life, and training helps a lot. Personal development training, personal awareness, personal breakthrough trainings, leadership trainings. There are plenty out there, and I think this adds value to organizations. And sometimes I'm a bit surprised when I find out that employees find it difficult to get leave to attend trainings that they're paying for themselves,
Right.
which is strange. So the initiative is there, but then they're finding difficulty at work. Like, I can't get time off because my boss won't give me the time off, which is strange to me. So both
The
sides.
flesh is willing.
Yes, the flesh is willing. But, both sides need to play a role, I think, in developing great characteristics in terms of people, great character building in the office environment.
So usually when you conduct training, right, I guess it's like through all the means, whether it's videos or activities and all that, it comes to the point where the training can only be up to self-awareness, right, of their behavior or how, whether it's good or bad. You can't really, and that's where with the self-awareness and then the will to act on their behavior is probably where training comes in.
And it's also the practice. People need an environment where they can practice what they've learned. And so one-off training programs, sometimes depending on the kind of impact, is it a high-impact program or is it just an awareness training or fun in the sun? There's another category called the fun in the sun where 2-day team building and all the rah-rah, and then come back to the office 1 week later, it petters off and goes, I think the practice, that's why it's important that the management, the higher management, they themselves are always also in personal development, developing themselves.
Right.
So that it spills over to the new people that work or the lower management. There must be some continuity and practices. So good practice in the office helps for them to practice what they've learned in the training, or being in a program where it has some kind of coaching and mentoring as well helps.
Okay. Right. And I guess, how good character actually helps in productivity. We'll delve into that in just a moment. Douglas Alex Chee from Milestone Training. It's Race Game, BFM 89.9. It's Race Game. Good morning, Frida Liu here, and Douglas Alex Chee, coach and CEO at Milestone Training. We're talking about character building in a workplace. Some of the work that he's been involved in was playing a pivotal role in writing, developing, and training the character building module for the Malaysian National Service Program, which might have changed over the years because it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Now we're talking about character building in the workplace as well. Sometimes maybe people can't associate a good character equals to productivity. So how does good character help with productivity? It's dollars and cents.
Yes, it is dollars and cents, and producing a set of results, be it dollars and cents or a service. I think someone who with good character, let's just say we identify a trait of being on time, someone who lives with integrity. I think it'll show up in their results. Someone who lives with integrity, is on time, and can keep their word, and will also want to keep their targets. So I think it plays a role. Someone who's frequently late and doesn't hit, it will show up.
Yeah.
It's a context thing.
No, he won't.
He will show up late with little results.
Yeah.
So that's like one element, for example.
Yeah.
Are they motivated to do the job? Are they inspired? Is their purpose being fulfilled? Is the work environment a conducive space for them to actually excel in? So it is dollars and cents. And I think, this whole thing about good character, bad character, well, good, bad is a judgment word, isn't it?
Right.
So how do we define that? I think some of the things would be obvious on what would be positive characteristics or positive traits.
And it's important for an organization to identify what these traits they want.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we spoke about doing whatever it takes. Someone says, okay, these are the set of results. Okay, do whatever it takes. Well, I'm a believer of do whatever it takes too. Be committed and do whatever it takes. But to what extent? Where do we draw the line?
And there are a lot of companies, that are like that. We talk about being bribe-free Malaysia here, but that's a reality, And I guess it's about achieving revenues, right? Companies encourage employees taking shortcuts, right? Or like doing whatever it takes to achieve results, and employees are encouraged to meet their targets, right? Now, what then?
Well, meet your targets.
When you're in an organization like that says,
do whatever it takes. Okay, so do whatever it takes. We can read it many ways. Do whatever it takes with someone with no principles, or do whatever it takes with someone with principles. How far will they go in life?
Yeah.
I think do whatever it takes. I think it can also mean do whatever you can. Make sure that you've organized and sought out all possibilities and looked at every possibility, looked under every rock, and go for it. Make it happen. But to a certain point of are you doing with integrity? Can you go to bed?
Yeah.
At night, knowing that you did a great job? I think that's what's important. And companies, they need to also identify what kind of company are they? What kind of bosses are they? They too need to define that. So if you're working for an organization with very little integrity, and who will do whatever it takes, inverted commas,
right.
Then they would encourage certain set of traits. Now, if I was working for them, I wouldn't work for them for very long. That was me personally, because I have a set of values and principles that I live by, and if it's going against that, then I just won't do it.
Right. So
I'll say goodbye.
Yeah, push comes to shove, there might be a time when you have to say goodbye. Right? So if you don't want to be pushed and shoved.
Yeah, but so I need to I need to be able to, so I'm more of a yes man than a no man. But I think the knowing when to say no, having some boundaries, I think that's important.
Okay.
It creates respect.
Right.
And I think respect is very important in the workspace too. Both sides, organizations respecting the employees, and employees respecting their organizations as well. So I think it plays both ways.
Right. Now, with your training at the moment at Milestone Training, what are some of the things that you do most, and what have been some of the things that people in the marketplace are asking for now?
They are asking for methods, for ways to get things faster, to get done, to formulas to make things happen faster. But that's why people come in. They want to make more money. They all start with the surface stuff. But through the process of discovery and breaking through, they look up and go, oh my goodness, there's so much more in my life I'm not seeing. And I think everybody has a sense of wanting to achieve something for themselves, and they want to be proud of themselves. And when they go to home at night and when they have to confront themselves, look themselves in the mirror, I think everybody has a sense of, did I live today? Was my life purposeful? Did I mean something to someone today? Did I mean something for myself today? Did I have a meaningful life? And I think the work that we do illuminates that. What's the meaning of your life? What's the purpose? Why are you here? Are you living that? Are you living with integrity? Are you producing the results you say that you want in your life, not just at work, but also in your family areas? Because I think it matches what goes on in your home, what goes on at work. There's a link. If you're consistent at work, you'll be consistent at home too. So it's bridging that gap of making sure that you try to have it all. Yeah.
All right. Douglas Alex Chee from Milestone Training. We've been discussing character building in the workplace. It's Racy Game, BFM 89.9.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes. BFM 89.9, the business station.